in this talk, and I will be talking about my thinking about the arthroscopic Bankart repair, the restoration of labral hook. I'd like to ask you, if shoulder is really non-weight bearing joint, right? What about this? This is my friend, Olympic medalist, and this dancing guy. Still, do you think it is non-weight bearing? Yes, the dancing and weightlifting is not unusual, but during the daily living, a certain amount of forces are always loading the shoulder joint. For example, just lifting or copy part, 100% of body weight is loaded to the shoulder joint. So the joint stability is an important thing to factor to comfort daily living. So I'd like to emphasize you the fundamental concept of shoulder joint is concavity compression. This is a synchronized function of static and dynamic factors. So in the anterior instability patient, all the variable pathologies, Brownie Bankart, Hilt, ERPSA, and GLOT, and much of the capsule tear can destroy this concavity. So we should restore this broken concavity mechanism. So this is my case when I was very earlier career. Looks good, it's okay. Normally, the labral height is highest in the very inferior portion, then anterior and superior. And then in the biomechanically, the stability ratio is also biggest in the inferior portion. You can see the green line is the stability ratio of intact labrum, and the red line is stability ratio after removing the granule labrum. The loss of amount of granule labrum is highest, biggest in the post-inferior and inferior area. So should I cast into main? Should I restore the inferior labral height? Or is it important? So I review, analyze my cases. I retrospectively review my 96 cases of arthroscopic Bankart repair and divide the patient between two groups according to the labral hoop restoration status. Group 1 is hoops restoration positive 39 patients, and group 2 is hoop restoration negative 57 patients. Surprisingly, the result, there are many significantly higher recurrence and dislocation in hoop restoration negative group, and the clinical score is much more higher in hoop restoration group, and there are no significant range of motion. So I conclude that Bankart repair with restoration of labral hoop seems to be more improved clinical outcome and lower recurrence rate without reducing range of motion. So my principal object of Bankart repair now is restoration of labral hoop and balancing of anterior and posterior capsular tension. So the first, for the suspecting the inferior and posterior inferior labral lesion, I developed the horizontal abduction compression test during like 90-degree abduction and pushing the down. If you have pain or some discomfort, we can be suspected the inferior labral lesion. And I reconstruct the radial slice MRA. Comparing the conventional horizontal MRA, the radial slice MRA has a very sensitive to detect the inferior labral lesion. So let me show you my technique. I do a arthroscopic Bankart surgery lateral decubitus position with 3-point traction, and usually this abduction lifting traction is very important for the maintaining the room for the walking. And I do a surface marking like this. And first, I made a posterior polar. Standard posterior polar is between the infra and teres minor, between the 2 cm posterior, 1 cm medial to the posterior lateral corner acromion. And I can feel the joint line and make a soft spot. And after that small incision and the trocar introduced to the coracoid base, you can see some good intraarticular view, and you can check rotator cuff and capsule and labrum. And in the case of the inferior labrum are suspected, I use a modified posterior labral, posterior polar is more lateral, 1.5 or 2 cm lateral to the standard polar, it's very easy to access the inferior anchor. So after that, I make the anterior inferior portal. You know, it's just lateral coracoid process, and just upper surface of the subscapular tendon, I insert the 7mm large diameter cannula for instrument. And then finally, I make anterior superior portal, transporter for viewing portal. It's posterior to the biceps tendon, and this is avoid the crowding rotator interval, and we can easily access to anterior and posterior. After make 3 portal, then I feel and palpate the labrum and check the stability and determine the range of repair. Like this, you can easily detach it in the loose labrum. After that, first step is mobilize the labrum from the glenoid neck. I usually use this kind of device, liberate knife. I did not use usually the radio frequency because I don't want some thermal and damage to the cartilage and capsule. And you can see that you must release the capsule beyond the 6 o'clock position, more posteriorly. It is easy way to make labral bumper. In the case of bone fragment, we should take down this bone fragment because the bone-to-bone healing is better than bone-to-soft-bone healing. So even in the bone fragment very small, I try to take down the bone fragment. After release, I do a glenoid bone bed preparation, remove cartilage, glenoid surface, and roughening the medial wall, and the roughening and medial wall, and making the bleeding bone bed to promote soft tissue healing. So after that, I use the anchor. I use the anchor, putting the anchor some more 1 or 2 millimeter medial to the glenoid edge, because to make a labral bumper easily. And first anchor is started by 6 o'clock position, then moved anteriorly. And if the posterior labral lesion are suspected, I added the anchor posteriorly like this. This is the way I do 6 o'clock position anchor. This is a left shoulder, this is anterior, this is posterior. The insertion guide is through the modified forceps portal, and point, initial, pushy, the more vertical angle, and we can easily put in the anchor at the 6 o'clock position. And additional anchor can be 5:30 position like this. If the patient have the more posterior region, this is 6 o'clock, this is 7 o'clock posterior region, you can use another anchor through the modified posterior portal too. So without additional tapping skin incision. After putting the anchor, we need to suture. For the amount of capsular shift, it depends on the capsular laxity. And usually I do a 1 centimeter medial, 1 centimeter inferior to the ankle region. We should penetrate full layer for secure purchase. In the case of incomplete lesion or first-time dislocator, the capsule is not lax. So in that time, I do a purchase just labral capsular junction. This is this kind of fixation can reduce the overtensioning like this. So this knot tying, I think the most important thing during knot tying is make labral bumper effectively and the minimize suture knot irritations. So the knot must be placed on the capsular side, and I usually prefer the low profile locking sliding knot. So I usually use the SMC knot like this. And you can adjust the capsule formation like this and adjust the tension. This is the final view of my Bankart repair. You can see well-reduced labral hook. In the case of posterior labral lesion, with the additional posterior anchor, we can see well-labral hook and good tension. So in summary, with my Arthroscopic Bankart repair, please remember the concavity compression mechanism and restore the joint concavity labral hook. You should release labrum posteriorly sufficiently and consider repair inferior, posterior inferior labrum if indicated. Thank you for your attention.